You can barely hear me?
There, that's it.
Okay, I'll talk like this. All right. Oh, I guess I was already. Good morning. How's everyone today?
Good.
We ready to start stretching our mind, our limbs, our stomach, and just expanding together for a little bit? My name's Aisha. I have a business that maybe you've seen at the Lake County's Farmers Markets in previous times, or at Whitaker Market, or perhaps an event that's around town. But I'm in the community hoping to connect with individuals like yourselves. And one of the things that we talk about with Inisha Wellness is how to incorporate health and wellness techniques from your daily life into not only your life, but the lives of your dogs and cats or other species in your family. It's time for us to really understand, like, oh my gosh, how can I not only take care of myself in ways of which are nourishing, but also recognize that perhaps there are other beings in our households that we have the same opportunity to do so as well. So my job today is to come and share some of the ways in which I've done that in my life. And this particular day is a zucchini potato soup has come to me. Now this recipe that I'm going to present also will incorporate in like things like optional ingredients. Like I'll talk about, this is how I did this base, here's what I encourage you to do. One of the things that I love to do is basically explore making potions. Like it really changed to me when I realized what cooking is, especially when I'm making a soup. It's when people talk about potions and different things like that, what we don't realize is that actually can be in things like soup. Incorporating the different energies and energetics that we would like to receive and perhaps understand a little bit more about into that meal and or what a snack, what have you, so that it could be like a routine for us, like just to engage with those kind of healthy energies and nourishing energies for ourselves. I'm so excited because one of the things that we get to do today is really talk about some of the other vendors that are here at the market. And those vendors were so, their specialties were so helpful in making the soup today and being able to build it out. So we'll give a quick discussion to that. We have definitely, and also here in the audience, is spoiled rotten vinegar. So hi, welcome. And also we have another local booth that's here at the Lake County Farmers Market, in fact, just around the corner, who specializes in mushroom teas. And I'm going to talk to you about how would you incorporate a mushroom tea into a zucchini potato soup. Hopefully that's the good stuff. Okay, so that's zoom out mycology. And then here are some of my things. These are some of my tinctures that I make, that I have with me. And oftentimes what I'll do is I'll put the tinctures into a drink or some food and things like that. So this is yet another way at which when we're going about our daily living, you could start to incorporate in those vital nourishing elements or those wellness elements that could really protect, nourish your entire family, okay? So that's a little overview about me. And I'm me personally. I'm from Eugene, born and raised in Eugene, but for many years have lived away. And so I love being home and also away from home. So you could definitely ask me Eugene questions. Maybe I'll have a joke about Eugene or something a little later. A joke has been requested. Okay. Yes, you have a question?
Did you find anything unique about Eugene as far as our food here, other than?
Ooh, excellent question. And I have traveled the world. And
wow.
Yes.
So
Eugene, absolutely 1,000%. Like, if I'm talking about fresh produce and like being spoiled with options in terms of eating healthy, eating it, incorporating it into your daily life, 1,000%. Being able to have vegetables, it's a blessing to be able to go over there and pick up the zucchini for here, the golden potatoes, the garlic, anything that we need, dill. You know, and here's what's crazy. Here in Eugene, it'll just show up in your garden. I came home and I didn't plant anything in my garden the first year. And I had potatoes, I had sunflowers, I had lemon balm, I had like strawberries. It's abundant here. And like, that's what I love about Eugene is like a little bit of water and then you'll turn around, it's like a whole moss forest behind you with some zucchinis and pumpkins and whatever else you need for the day. So like, that's what's really unique about here is we're in a very special place where we get to see what it's like to live in a temperate rainforest. How many people have ever lived in a temperate rainforest? And we literally do. So I'm going to lean into those spaces at which I'm in, and that's what I think Eugene is very unique for. We also have really good seafood in the Pacific Northwest in general, so I tend to trust like our seafood a lot better, a lot more than especially if I'm in California or in some regions of the world perhaps that I'm not as familiar with how things have their practices and getting the fish and things like that. But yes, fish, produce, yes, everything we're going to be talking about, like Eugene is very unique in that I could build a relationship, you could build a relationship with some of the most up and coming businesses who are doing things in smart, innovative ways. Like, that's why I came back here from Los Angeles. I was centered in a very different place, and I also worked in healthcare. I worked in healthcare where I would be in tertiary level hospitals, and that's pretty much your critical care hospitals all over from west of the Mississippi, Canada, United States, and Mexico. So I've been in a lot of towns, hospitals, places, things like that. And I noticed that the medical trends actually pushed down from the Pacific Northwest, oftentimes starting in Alaska, at least for healthcare, down into the Pacific, further down, Washington, Oregon, and then it gets to California. The reason why California gets the credit for pushing out a lot of initiatives is because it's the masses of people who are finally getting behind. But when I'd be in LA, I'd see a lot of people who looked like they were from Portland. And then I realized, oh my goodness, I think we're trending down here. Why are folks trying to be that? And there's so many Oregon businesses that are huge in Southern California. You know, Salt and Straw. There's a ton of donut companies. There's a ton of coffee companies and things like that. So I'm trying to be on the forefront of speaking to the educational needs of our wellness and wholeness, right? From a standpoint of what's the modern family looking like. Oftentimes it is not just a human, it is a human and perhaps a cat, some plants, things like that, you know, whatever you have around you. So let's be in our surroundings and let's actually live together and find some ways to incorporate things in like that. So thanks for the question. Okay, so if we're making a zucchini potato, which we've already made it, so we're going to kind of quickly walk through different things at which what would be a healthy, or the ingredients that myself, my dogs, my cats can have in a safe way. Because we can't just give cats anything, nor should we just give ourselves anything. I'm one of those people, I do read the label on everything I buy in the grocery store because I want to be aware. And even here, I want to be aware of what I've decided to engage with. Because different energetics, different foods which fuel our bodies come with different energetics. And this potato soup really, or zucchini soup really is fun for me because it's a lot of the greens. Right now I'm feeling like I need to reach for a lot of the green vegetables and those rich burnt orange and squashes and things like that. So these are kind of all the soups that I'm making in my kitchen and sharing with my household right now. So the zucchinis were everywhere in my garden, in a community garden that I have. work with, and then also in multiple vendors here. So I got 2 zucchinis from 2 of the vendors here. You can easily grab those for your soup if you want to start with that. And then also I got some golden potatoes. Now these golden potatoes came from my yard, because remember I told you I came home from being away and just went like this, and I have potatoes in my hand. I'll show you. You guys think I'm playing. I'm not playing. And then what we're going to do for is make sure we have things like garlic. I don't use a lot of salt in my family. We kind of have an engagement with our kidneys. We've been charged with really taking care of our kidneys or else. And so for me to listen to my body, one of the things that I've learned to do is, because I like seasonings, I'm not here for the blandness. I got how many palates I want them touched on, because when we start touching on the different palates in our mouth, it starts preparing our bodies for what's coming and waking up those different areas in our body of like, oh, that's bitter. Oh, this is that. Like, it starts your digestive enzymes and kind of wakes up those colonies that are down there as well. So garlic, I mean, great for everybody. Cats, dogs, people, antiviral. Please get it in your life. It's one of the things that can almost, like, if you're not feeling well, it's an amazing addition to get into your food and your teas for upper respiratory cough and things like that. So garlic's a good one to be cooking with now. The lungs especially are an important thing for us when the fall comes around, in terms of how is the air changing, things like that. Garlic's, again, great for the upper respiratory system and things like that, or to incorporate into teas and foods that you're doing to really target if you come down with a cold and help speed up your recovery, things such as that. So garlic's on there. Again, there's some people who perhaps read an old study, and I don't really like to reference bad fake news, so I'm going to just quickly go over what I would say to those who may be hesitant about giving garlic to dogs and cats, is to really look at perhaps the literature that's really recent that says anything that is harmful in terms of garlic for them is in copious amounts, meaning you've taken things too far. Like, I think in the studies it was like 6,000 milligrams per day or something. I don't, just a clove or 2 of garlic, goodness sake. And mixing it with, like, crushing garlic, mixing it with honey, having something like a vinegar with that. So when you're not feeling well, and even kind of how I started this base, is having the garlic first, cutting up the garlic, letting it open up with a butter or an olive oil. I do the butter olive oil mix, actually. I just kind of let that percolate on itself for a bit, and then added in the ginger. So ginger is another thing for all of us, great for inside and out. Like, I have ginger everything. Before I got here, my gut was a little, like, I don't know, I'm a little nervous. And so I was like, you know what, let me take my gut tonic, which really is a ginger tincture, and it immediately calmed the situation down. Ginger is one of those beings that can go into our guts and feed the good flora, the good bacteria that we're trying to build, that bacteria in our body that can really connect actually with our vagus nerve, which also can connect with how am I perceiving the world, how am I feeling, so mood, behavior, everything. I'm trying to make sure these guys are happy because they literally, so what the gut flora in our gut produce oftentimes, which we hear about a little bit, is serotonin. But one of the things that isn't often told to us is that the bulk of serotonin is in our gut. So those beings that produce the byproduct is to stimulate our serotonin production. Is we want to say, hey, here you go. Are you hungry? I got some ginger for you. You like ginger? We got some for you. It's great for dogs, cats, and also if you're feeling nauseous, you're feeling like, like I was saying, tummy, like, it's great for that. It's great for lower back pain. And for people who menstruate, anytime that ginger has been one of those that is a time age treatment with things like red raspberry and whatnot to help with cramping and also muscle spasms in this area. It also happens to be flavorful and amazing. So I got my garlic first in the butter in the olive, then added in my ginger. And because I was working with ginger that this time was dry, I often work with both a dry and a fresh ginger, but since it was dry, I wanted it to open up a little bit. So I put it in a little mixture of oil and water, and then also then later on after the water. So I first bring back water because most of the beans that we're engaging with are mostly water, including us. And so a way to kind of reconstitute and bring it back into a place is to allow it to kind of start opening that before it gets into the soup. So just gave it its own little area to open up, do that, and then put that into a mixture. So the garlic, the ginger, and the butter and olive oil are sitting there on our base at this point. Let that have some time together, and then I cut up the zucchini. So the zucchini then went in next, and the potatoes, and they were just, I put those in with also the spoiled rotten vinegar. And now this is gonna reduce itself. So now we've kind of had like 15 minutes in there, just adding more and more, like layers of the soup. Like, so I kind of build it up slowly like that, but as a reduction, so those vegetables are just absorbing all of that water, the vinegar, the ginger, the garlic, all of those seasons are just going right into that, and even the fats with the butter and the olive oil, okay? I normally, sometimes I add celery during that step as well in the veggies because I like celery in everything. I mean, celery is such a great urinary and like it's just a great ally to have in your life. I cook with it all the time. It really just, especially a lot of cats later in their life, not even later, throughout life have urinary issues. It's a great idea to introduce some of the vegetables that can be helpful and nutritious, and really go and speak and share perhaps a little bit of wisdom to some of the problems that commonly come up. I just am a preventative kind of gal like that. Like, oh, we got kidney issues in our family? Okay, I should have cranberry in my life. I should have some things. I should be eating celery. Celery really helps with cleaning up the blood and by letting things release in our bodies, things like that. But I decided to kind of add the celery a little bit later in the process this time. But so for about 30 minutes, just building out from the water, the oil, vinegar, a little bit of ginger, little bit of garlic on top of that, and was taking it and blending it. Now, some things that may be good for your household, which are optional, like I make it in different ways. Like earlier this week, so all of those ingredients could be for dogs, cats, people, everyone like that. But like, so I wanted to do a tea in it. And this week we're doing Zoom Out Mycology's tea. And this tea actually is amazing. It's got cordyceps in it. It's a lovely thing. Orange pill, lemon pill, and what it did is it gave it a little bit of a lemon undertone, like a lemon zest to it. And it was lovely, but it's not safe to give to cats and dogs. So this was just a me meal. But how I did the tea into my soup as well earlier in the week. It's not in this one, but in the soup earlier this week, what I did is in my broth is like I actually steeped some tea separately. So my water portion was actually this tea. And so I got cordyceps in there, you know, things like that, and it's gonna be my meal for a couple of days. So now I've supplemented that into my my meal routine. And I have, for my business, which at another day I would talk about it, is I take my teas, and that's how I do my basics, right? Is I'll build that out almost as a broth, because I have teas with things like dill, mushrooms, or rosemary, which there's also rosemary in here. I'm sorry. I'm gonna read the ingredients to y'all. Rosemary and dill actually in here. Now, again, those are like robust beans that kind of come in and not only add flavor and vibrancy to any kind of discussion they're at, but they also are amazing allies in being anti-inflammatories. Rosemary is a stimulant, especially for aging dogs and cats who may be on, as they get older, it wakes you up. Those who are like rosemary essential oils can be like whipped and like, they'll be like, oh, I'm revived. It's a stimulant, basically. But it's one of those which really stimulates and gets at our minds, and it goes through the nervine system. So that's kind of one of the fun things about rosemary. And then finally, dill. Dill is cool because dill popped up in my garden. And dill is, again, one of those that's good for the gut. Goes in the gut. It's been used for thousands of years. And for like, bad breath even. You can chew on some dill. You can keep good energies around you. That's what some ancient peoples believed with dill, that it would help you also sleep as well. I haven't tried it as sleep. Dill kind of, keeps me like, oh, there's some dill around. Like, it doesn't let me relax around it. Anyway. So let me make sure that I've read to you guys all the ingredients that we've made for dogs and cats and ourselves in this soup, right? We have, I'm gonna get my phone. Hi phone. I'm not gonna do that. I think I have something right here. All right. So this was lovely because in this soup, that is the full family soup, we have zucchini squash, potatoes, ginger, garlic, butter, dill, vinegar, olive oil, rosemary, and celery. I know a lot of people feel very nervous oftentimes about sharing complex food with dogs and cats, but I'm here to tell you that it's just, they have taste buds in their mouth for a reason too. That they have many of the same, they have different, but many of the main flora that makes up the beans in our gut, they have it as well. So it's important to also balance the full family's diet and things like that. So I have some zucchini potato soup that I'd love to share with you that incorporated all of those ingredients. And again, I was able in this soup to use the vinegar as a reduction from spoiled rotten vinegar. And I love they have a bootstrap one that's of a molasses base, and I would normally finish, I have that at home, that's for me, is I would finish my soup with a little bit of drizzle of that, and also maybe some feta, or another different type of cheese that is nice. Or my roommate said to me, some sausage. And I was like, yeah, actually, a nice sausage would do very well in this as well. So at this point, if you guys have any questions, I'm more than welcome to discuss with you. And or if you'd like to try the soup, we can do a little 2 ounce. They're like, so then it's a sample, and we fulfill all the requirements of being a perfect demo for the community. So thank you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that you guys made space today to come spend it with all of us. Would anyone like to try the soup? Yes, let's try some. Okay.
What's this vinegar you're using?
Yeah, so it's called spoiled rotten vinegar, and this one is, Sherry, do you want to?
Yeah, we're at a booth. We're just over this way, big yellow booth, and we have a variety of different vinegars. Light is a chef, and he's made many 100% burrito. The blackstrap she mentioned is made from molasses, blackberry, apple, quince. This one is made from quince, but we make it like as you would start a burrito paste, which is made from quince also. So we actually have 2 quince
Hi, hello. That was awesome. I'm gonna take a sample, but I was wondering, do you have social media?
Yeah,
I'd love to ask you some
absolutely.
questions about your demo.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Do you do demos or?
I've been working in kitchens my entire career.
Okay.
I used to work in fine dining and we did a few competitions.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm just curious.
Yes.
Oh my god. Look at this.
I know.
So well, it's really great. You really padded out your time really well. You did wonderfully. Yeah, good job. Thank you.
So yes, I hope that this is like a good base for people to realize what they can build off of and make for themselves. I'm such that person, like when my roommate was like, it needs a sausage, I was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
But we're in Eugene, so you can't start with sausage.
You just start that's all.
We start with the base.
It's really
Oops, sorry.
I'm gonna be trying
I'm gonna
to
get you another one. I just skipped this.
And you source like a lot of this stuff. You
Oh,
get
yeah.
some from your garden?
Yes.
And a lot of stuff from
Yes,
from
I
the
bought
farmer's market.
at the farmer's market. I got the tea from Zoom Out Mycology there on this side. And it's lovely, like I said, is I build out my broths with tea oftentimes. And I loved using hers. That particular recipe was great for like I said, like a nice lemon zest in there. And then with a little bit of cream. And, you know,
Aisha, I have a crock pot coming in like 10 minutes.
oh, we're fine. Yes, actually, it might be good for the next one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, I got the tail end of it. Do you have like a little recipe written down for this,
You
or?
know what? I could get a recipe written down later.
Oh, you don't have to
I don't
stress
have
too
it with
hard.
me.
My mama was just going, oh
But
shit,
you know
that
what I'll
sounds
do?
good.
Is I'll put it on my social media.
That's a good soup.
I'm glad you like it. Yes. And I'll put it on my social media. And if you want to follow me, I'll make sure to put the whole recipe on there.
You're so pretty.
Yay!
Did a wonderful job.
I know, yes. And please do support your local vendors who are here. We love the support. Yay! Thank you. Hi.
Is this something special?
Oh, the vinegar? Yeah, it is special. It's made by one of the vendors that works here. And Spoiled Rotten Vinegar, they have some beautiful vinegars. I really like their balsamic one. I use it in almost everything. Oh, go look at it. It's got molasses in it. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's